The college football experience, Purdue Boilermakers 2024 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your entry with their brand new Pick 8. Sign up. And when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Yes, they do have college football and college basketball action. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Build your own betting model using their AI betting engine. Claim your 7-day free trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Experience. Purdue Boilermaker, boil it up. Let's go. 2024 season preview episode. Big brand new year. 12-team playoff. Yeah. 18-team Big Ten. I may wonder why Purdue voted yes to adding those teams, but we will get to it. YouTube.com/the college experience. Remember, we're breaking down all 134 college football teams with an hour dedicated to every single team in the land. The same, we're going to give Kennesaw State and Purdue the same amount of love that you would give Texas, Alabama, or Penn State. So let's get into this stuff, folks. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that is fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Sir. Quarterback you. Out there on the streets, that's what they call the Boilermakers. From Bob Greasy to Jim Everett. Jeff George took some snaps as a Boilermaker.
Yeah.
Drew Brees. Also,
Lion Orton, the greatest of all.
I was about to say, he's got some nice drunk photos at some bar in Iowa.
Yes. Always love some Kyle Orton.
Well, look, I am joined by a guy who might have been feeding him those cocktails in Des Moines or wherever the fuck he was at. Give it up for the host of the Bottom Line Bob's podcast, which you should be subscribed to. Scumbagger Vance, a.k.a. CJ Sullivan, the bet detective. How are you, pal?
Good. Great to be back here on the C block. We'll bang out another team preview. I am the host of the Bottom Line Bombs. And of course, I am doing that road to 10 million where I drive to Vegas and back and make a bet. I only bring that up because you, Dundee, are also taking a road to Vegas tomorrow. I don't know when this comes out, but driving out there tomorrow with White Tiger, with Mrs. Dundee, braving 110-degree heat, put the calamari in the car, and let's do it. Big Mountain West Media Day. What's going on with you?
Well, White Tiger needs he wants to interview Bronco Mendenhall.
Yeah.
And you're a big fan of the 3-3-5, the Rocky Long defense that came out. He's watched a lot of games involving the Rocky Long defense in the 90s on YouTube. So want to get him out there. Now, did not anticipate, and I don't know why, because I should anticipate as someone that's been to Vegas a lot in the summer. Yeah. Did not anticipate the hottest day in the history of Vegas
ever recorded. And it is a desert. It is July. First trip to Vegas. You know what? White Tiger, first trip to Vegas. Let's do it. Siegfried and Roy style. The new White Tiger's in town.
A new White Tiger's in town. And yeah, look, he needs to learn about these. We got to toughen him up.
Absolutely.
Right?
I was a little worried until I heard Mrs. Dundee's making the trip as well. Now I'm not so much. She'll take care of all the situation. Now I'm more worried about you than anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So gonna be at Circa.
Yeah, stay hydrated. Oh, Circa, nice. You got their press pass, you got a suit, you got the hat, you got the card and the hat, you got the sketch pad, you know?
Got the haircut too. I mean,
yes.
Going all in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excited for Mountain West Media Day. Big 12 Media Day is going to be happening as well. Might slide over there, talk some trash to them.
There.
You know, they're at Allegiant. You know my feelings on Allegiant. Shitty stadium, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to go. White Tiger's excited to go, and look, White Tiger, he's excited about these Boilermakers too.
Okay, let's get into it.
Ryan Walters, former Colorado Buffalo safety. Right. I'm a big fan, and I'm hoping year 2 is better than year 1. Because year 1 had some challenges, but before we dive into that, I want to tell you the college football experience. Purdue Boilermakers season preview is brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Yes, Moon Off the Machine, Manji and Chris are getting you ready for the NFL season on the Propcast. They already got episodes dedicated to season-long props and the awards market. Plus, check out the bet detective himself, CJ Sullivan, and his road to $10 million on the Bottom Line Bombs, which you need to check out. You need to check out the road to $10 million. Tune in wherever you get your podcast or get the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. All right, back talking boiler up football here. And we got the enemy is here. Hoosier Stan. Listen here, Colby. Salute to Boiler Hoops. But football is dookie, he says, under 2.5 wins. Let it ride.
I like Indiana interstate rivalries myself. Always fun.
Good rivalry and you know, basketball program. Hey, Hoosier Stan, you guys got Mike Woodson? Is he gonna step it up? Because it's kind of surprised he got extended.
I think Zach Edey would do on a football field. He'd get broken in half.
What position would you put him at if you're head coach? I'm thinking like D end.
D end, yeah. I mean, he could swat some stuff down. He's an amazing field goal blocker specialist. You put him right over the center to stand up. You know,
little Ed Too Tall Jones action.
Exactly. I don't see how you get a field goal off. Yeah, D end or O tackle maybe.
I like this. Yeah, Zach Edey on the football field. I think offensive tackle. I can see some. He's got good footwork. He's got good footwork. It could lumbering.
Happen. A goal line tight end, like a Dan Campbell type in there, but even bigger. You know what I mean? Like get those 2-yard routes.
Oh yeah. I can totally see it happening.
He gets his body on you. Good luck good luck shaking free of that.
Yeah. I like this idea. He's still got some eligibility, I think, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. He's in the summer league tonight. I just want to see him. Just want to see him lumbering around. Let's do it. Yeah.
I would like to see, because I was a little surprised, not to go on a tangent here, that he did go as high as he went, because the NBA game had been so fast lately.
For sure.
I thought like he probably wouldn't translate well to it, but hey,
I'm glad he did get taken. It's just hilarious. That's what not to get off topic here, but the NBA, that's what it's turned into. It's turned into like 3 shots. That's it. And if you can't do that, they have no use for you. You know, it's 3-pointers, dunks, you know, and they're like, well, we don't know what to do with this All-American Player of the Year that's 7'3" that can play basketball. We don't know what to do with him. He's worthless. Well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you would just think naturally. We have this gigantic guy who's very close to the rim. And he can make free throws too. So it's not like Shaq.
Yeah, he got hands, but you can either dunk or 3-point shot. That's it. Anyway.
Yeah, ridiculous. Well, we'll cover that. I'll check out the Bottom Line Bobs for a deeper dive on Zach Edey.
I got summer league plays coming. Don't you worry about that.
Oh yeah, there we go. Get on over there. Check out the Bottom Line Bobs.
Well, I don't get.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Ryan Walters, year 1.
Yeah.
Not the greatest of seasons.
Oh, Canva campus.
Oh, Dundee's here.
Captain Canva, the Dundee graphic artist specialist. I love it. I like that Boilermaker with the hammer. Little tool.
James is saying they're starting the season 8-3.
What?
Who knows about that 12th game?
That's the George Bush. Whoa. 8-3.
Well, I don't get. They bring the head cold.
They were 4-8 last year, right, under Ryan Walters' first year, taking over for the great Jeff Brom. Jeff Brom just looks better now that you see what's going on. That maybe it was absolutely him that did that over because of his success. I mean,
and he went to the ACC championship at Louisville,
right? Exactly.
So a lot of Boilermaker fans sitting back watching the game saying,
"The fuck is that?"
Now, Graham Harrell, year 2 of being the OC.
Yeah.
DC is Kevin Kane. I'll say this, man. I don't want to just say Walters was terrible because
no, I mean
they schedule insane, man. Last season you have 11 Power 5s and your 12th game is Fresno State, who beat you, of course. But you got to give yourself some layups, especially if you're Purdue, where your academic standards are much tougher than most of the Big Ten. I remember a couple years ago, Purdue's leading receiver coming into the season, they kicked off the team because of academics. And I'm like, that does not happen at Ohio State. You know what I mean?
No, if anything, the players sue the school because they won't let them go to class, like Robert Smith.
Exactly. And so my point is like, if you're going to run a program that tight, it's like 3 seasons ago that I'm talking about, then you gotta help yourself out with some scheduling. We'll get to it, but we'll get into the schedule a little bit, but this one's tough too. I think they have a top 10 hardest schedule every year, and even though they were in the Big Ten West, which no longer exists, by the way, so
which they could use this year for sure. The Big Ten West is what enabled them to sometimes, squeak like they got to the championship game 2 years ago, mainly because of the Big Ten West. Now that that's gone, that's they could use some of those wins. But I'll say this off the top about Ryan Walters, and we like Ryan Walters personally and as coach and all that stuff. I'll give him definitely a pass because it's a tough transition from Jeff Brom's offense and his style of play to Walters, who's a defensive guy who wants to install defense. His ideal team is to have a lockdown defense, which in today's age is pretty much impossible, especially at Purdue. Yeah. So he recruited well. I mean, the portal is going to be one thing. So it's going to take a couple years for his guys to come in there and establish a culture. That's the problem right now, where they don't have a culture. They don't know who they are. They're just mediocre at everything, which is never good. 3 losses by 1 score though. But you touched on the portal, and to me, like, they got to go lighter on the schedule. Mm-hmm. And the portal, they kind of got raided, but they did land some pieces that I didn't think they'd be able to land. So let's get into this thing. Now historically, Purdue has been up and down. Brom got it high. Joe Tiller had it high in the early 2000s, but they had some real dog shit years in the middle there. Bad losses. CJ, what do you think of the worst loss Purdue's had since 2000? You look at this here. No, multiple. You got a friendly chart here for us. Let's take a look.
Multiple losses to Bowling Green. Mm-hmm. Multiple losses to Northern Illinois. Don't put the MAC on the schedule. Maybe that's why they're doing all Power 5s.
All right.
I see losses to Bowling Green, Northern Illinois, Toledo. Shit, Marshall used to be in the MAC. What's the most embarrassing there? Is it Eastern Michigan?
I was probably the worst. I don't fault them for the Toledos and Northern Illinois and Bowling Greens, but the Eastern Michigan for sure.
That was Brom too. That lost that.
That was
game.
Brom at home.
Yeah,
as well.
That's tough. Yeah, pretty brutal.
I love it. I love when you open up with the history of shame for all these programs. Let's roll back to all the years. Who can forget in 2005 when you?
I want you to be optimistic about this year, but remember this shit performance you had.
Don't forget 19 years ago when you had too many rum drinks in Hawaii. All right.
Hold on. That was against this man.
This is Coach June Jones, and you're listening to SGPN.
Friend of the program. Glad to see that he took down your Boilermakers 20 years ago, whatever the fuck it was.
Any show that gets a June Jones shout out is good for us.
All right, we're going to talk offense, though, for the Boilermakers. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience Boiler Up preview is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Pick 8 is now live. Create entries with up to 8 picks, and an Underdog will automatically double flex entries, so you can miss up to 2 picks and still win your entry with more picks to make and extra ways to win. The excitement is higher than ever. The best part also, you can win up to 325 times your original amount. You can now use specials and boost on all flexed entries as well. So don't miss your chance to try it out before it's gone. Sign up. And when you do, sign up with the promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Remember, they do have college football and college basketball. I think they have some really sharp edges here. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. We're also brought to you by Circa Survivor and Circa Millions. Yes, we just talked about this. I'll be at Circa tomorrow. Circa Sports is back with Circa Survivor and Circa Millions, giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes. And of course, Circa contests have no rake. The Bet Detective, he's all over these contests, right?
Absolutely. That's why the road's paved. That's why it's a winding road. It's a detour road, but you keep on taking it, and then there's gold in them there hills.
Oh, yes, there is. Circa Millions, pick 5 NFL teams ATS each week, and the winner takes home $6 million. Whew. There is gold in them there hills. Or survive the old NFL gauntlet to claim the $10 million prize. Sign up in person at Circa Sports between now and September 7th and use a proxy to play from anywhere. We even have a deal with the old football contest proxy.com to save you $50 with the promo code SGP. Look, if you don't have your Vegas trip booked yet before the football season, may I recommend the Ultimate Contest Weekend? It's a great time to go out, hang out with Stacking the Money Green and Real Money Kramer of the Sports Gambling Podcast, and enjoy some of the open bar events at the greatest sports book in the world, August 22nd to August 24th. Hop on over there. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. We are back talking Boilermaker football. Lane Gretzky in the chat. C-Block, what's up?
Yes.
You ever had a Boilermaker?
Oh, absolutely. I fucking love Boilermakers.
Now,
that's when you put you pour that whiskey right on in there, on that beer, and you belly to the bar. That's the original Imp and Iron. And I'm wearing my Iron City right now.
Woo,
my Pittsburgh Iron City shirt there. And that was the original Arnie Palmer. That's what he would like that off the record, the Imp and Iron, which is a shot of Imperial whiskey poured into an Iron City beer.
Woo. I remember when I first moved to LA in Echo Park, they had a place.
Yeah.
You get a $3 beer and a $1 shot, make it a Boilermaker.
Damn right.
That place got it's like $30 now. You go in there, $30 for the beer, $30 for the shot. But the Boilermakers, their offense, they could use a shot because 85th in scoring per game, 23.9 points per game, 6th best in the Big Ten. Hey, middle of the road. When you have Iowa in your conference, you can never be that bad at offense. Right. 70th in yards, 407.9 yards per game. That was 7th best in the Big Ten, 70th in America, 84th in passing offense, 53rd in rushing offense. All of that, I guess the rushing offense, surprising, 4th best in the Big Ten, considering Graham Harrell is a Mike Leach guy running the air raid. How the hell are they 4th best in rushing in the Big Ten? The hell's going on here, Bet Detective?
Well, they got Devin Mockobee. He's a nice little running back. He's going to be, they're going to lean on him heavily for rushing and receiving. That's how they rush. It's one of these things where that's not great when you are 4th or 5th in rushing, meaning that's just in today's age, that means you cannot throw the ball. And that's what you need to do today. So it's kind of one of those default stats. Although, as we'll get into the team, you gotta like their quarterback, Hudson Card, who came in over from Texas. He is electric. So if anything, he'll be fun to watch.
Rock Hudson Card, year 2 in the Harrell offense. I think he might grasp it a little bit better. They bring back 3 of 5 on the offensive line, led by Gus Hartwig.
Love Gus Hartwig.
Great name. Receivers, though, seem to have that's a big question mark coming into the year. I know they got Jamal Edrine, an FAU transfer 2 years ago that got injured out for the year last year, but that's someone that I think they were super excited about last year. We didn't get to see them with him because of the injury situation.
Heard his name came over from Florida Atlantic. If he is healthy, he can be the number 1, which they desperately need, but they brought in some guys, right?
Oh yeah. First let's talk about what left because Elijah Canyon did go to the Flaming Libs of Liberty and Jamie Chadwell. Deion Burks heading out to Oklahoma. And I mean, obviously Burks was good. I like TJ Sheffield when Braun was there. He goes to the reigning national or the 2020 national champion UConn Huskies.
Yeah.
Garrett Miller to Texas A&M. Mike Elko, dealt some nice death blows to Purdue. But yeah, and then a couple offensive linemen, more Josh Kaltenberger going to Maryland. I'd say those are the bigger pieces there, but they did go out in the portal. They brought in Reggie Love, who was the leading rusher for Illinois last year.
Yeah.
Remember Walters was previously with Brett Bielema at Illinois when they had a big season. But then you look at Purdue coming into Athens, Georgia, driving fast, swooping some of these players. What the hell's going on here? CJ Smith and Morissette from Georgia coming in. Also a couple
2 dogs there. And wasn't that other guy from Georgia? Oh, that D-back.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then Kam Brown from UCLA, RJ Lopez from UCLA, just coming into Westwood, and then on the offensive line, I think one of the big ones there is Joey Tenona from
Notre Dame. Yeah,
from Notre Dame. They always have a good O line. Joshua Sales also coming in from the Indiana Hoosiers. Is this offense going to be better than a year ago? You think, Bet Detective?
I do. It's got to be better. First of all, it's there's only one direction it really should go. In that, like you said, another year in the offense. I like Hudson Card. He's just fun to watch. I like CJ Smith from Georgia. He's a burner. He is absolutely fast. And if it is healthy, we'll have some exciting receivers for Card. And I love getting Reggie Love from Illinois. He'll be black with Devin Mockobee, who's just a stud running back. He's gonna put up 1,500 total yards, I believe. With that O-line intact. So they're not an explosive. Obviously, it's not the Jeff Brown offense. You have to get that out of your head. But I think they can. I think they can hold their own above water here.
Yeah, and look, I think DJ Winfield from New Mexico and Corey Stewart could end up being starters for this offensive line, for this Boilermaker team. Max Klare is the tight end that I think is going to be their guy, and then Andrew Sawinski is another guy to watch in the receiving room. I like
both their tight ends there. You said Max Klare and George Burkham is that other guy. I think together as a tandem, that's what Purdue does.
I agree though. I think the offense will be better. I know it's a lot of change, and that's always, I feel like doing this for 4 or 5 years ago is you're terrified of that change. But now when like every single team's got that much change,
it's just what it is. It's just what it is.
The defensive side of the ball.
Now we got a problem.
Yeah. And that's what's crazy is that's Walter's MO. I mean, when he was at Illinois, they had a top 10 defense in the country.
Yeah. He's a defensive guy.
Yeah. Last season, they were 98th in scoring defense. A cool 98th.
I don't get
29.9 points per game. That was third worst in the Big Ten.
Wow.
They were 67th in giving up yards, 382.1 yards per game, and then dead last in the Big Ten in pass defense, 95th in the nation, 9th best run defense in the Big Ten, 43rd. The rush defense was all right, but that's because every team was like, "Hey, why run the ball when everyone's open? If you throw the ball."
That's insane. Today's football.
Yeah, even in the Big Ten, and only 4 starters back on the defensive side of the ball. That's a little bit of a question mark. The secondary, Marcavius Brown and Dylan Thieneman back, linebacker Kendron Jenkins back.
Yeah, Dylan Thieneman, he's that All-American. He's going to lead. He's going to fill up the stats. He's going to lead in everything. Cole Brevard, I like him. He's an anchor, that nose guard. He's a stalwart down there.
Love that word.
Stalwart. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
He's a cornerstone anchor, a stalwart. Tugboat, if you will.
100%. And the portal, this is where you really question. I mean, Brahms teams weren't known to be great defensively.
Right.
So like he probably came into a team that just didn't have the personnel that he liked. But man, wouldn't it be nice to have some of these guys, because
that first name right there, that's a kill. That's a killer. He was their best player.
And trust me, I did the A&M preview. A couple guys that cover A&M, and they were like, "That guy, he showed up to campus and he's a fucking beast."
Yeah,
so like
absolute beast.
Nick Scruton is that's a tough loss. A&M stole multiple players on this team. They also lost a few other defensive linemen. For some reason, it seemed like there was a fire sale on defensive linemen. Roman Petre heads out to Arizona State. Montreal Dean to Miami, Ohio. Corday Snyder to Vandy. JP Dieter to Arizona State. Prince Boyd to FAU. Sullivan Kapak to Mississippi State. DJ Allen to Memphis. Linebacker Octavius Brothers to UAB. Clyde Washington to Utah State. And then safety Ethan Cole making a great decision, I thought. Following the bet that he must be subscribed to the Bottom Line Bombs, because safety Ethan Cole, I can't talk, heading out to the Duquesne Duke. CJ Sullivan's alma mater.
Absolutely, he'll be playing there. He'll be playing Saturdays at AJ Palumbo Field there, and Duquesne's a high university. Everyone wants a piece of them. They were in the tournament. They did a little magic. The football program stepped up in levels. Go back real quick, though. I do want to say, no, you can't fault Ethan Cole for stepping up in universities, going to false engineer school and head on over to Pittsburgh. I will say Octavius Brothers. He should not, with that name, you should be at UAB. You should not be at Purdue. All right. So you can't fault Octavius Brothers for doing UAB. So what am I doing here? I can't be in Lafayette, Indiana with a name like Octavius Brothers.
I can just picture him ordering something or meeting a girl in West Lafayette.
Yeah. West Lafayette getting mayonnaise on his chicken. Get this out of here. Let me get down to Alabama. Get some seasoning, for crying out loud.
He's got, his brothers basically sums him up like this.
Yeah. He felt like shit afterwards.
All right, trying to order a goddamn sandwich. All right. And look, they had a couple other guys too. Second page, Braxton Myers heading out to Southern Miss. Zion Steptoe going to the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Name. Also Zion Gunn in the portal as well.
Losing two Zions, that's tough.
That is tough. They probably didn't feel very, very good in West Lafayette either.
Coach, we lost Zion. Which one? Steptoe? Both of them.
Gun went through. The defensive line. They went out and they brought in C.J. Madden. No relation to John, but damn it, he was playing at. He might be related to John because he's playing with the Georgia Bulldogs. What the hell's going on here? They also got Nyland Green, a corner from Georgia.
Nyland Green's a great one.
Dude, they just walked in and just took 4 or 5 guys from Georgia. They also got Calvin Smith from Illinois, Kendrick Breedlove from Colorado, who was previously at Ole Miss prior to that, and then Sterling Smith from the Holy Cross Crusaders. And how about the defensive end from Boston College?
Shita Salah.
Great name, Shita Salah.
What a shit name. Shita. Yeah. Just a joke. Shita Salah.
Yeah. Dude, this defense is I actually think I know losing Skirton is such a big loss, but
yeah, I don't know.
But I kind of think they might have gotten better. Am I crazy?
Yeah, you're a little crazy. You know what? You can convince me they got a little better. I mean, what did they give up? 30 points a game last year, 100th in the country. I still think they're a year or two away for Walters' defense to take place, because a lot of it was recruiting. They had great recruiting, and his guys, they got a lot of steps to go to make this a good defense. So can they improve? Sure. Are they going to be good? No. I mean,
we'll talk more on that in a second. I want to tell you the Boilermaker season preview is brought to you by Rhythm. If you're betting on player props, then you need to download Rhythm. Rhythm is the go-to sports betting tool that transforms complex data into actionable insights, empowering bettors with smarter, data-driven decisions. Unlike other platforms, Rhythm combines advanced predictive analytics with an intuitive user experience, making betting both easy and enjoyable. Rhythm's predictive models were born from the brains of MIT data scientists and quants with over 3 years of data that help drive you to better AI-backed betting decisions. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right. Well, look, you think the defense will be a little worse. I think the defense will be a little bit better because second year of understanding a system.
Yeah, I agree with you. They'll be improved. I just don't think they'll be good, but they will be improved. Then there's a lot of room for improvement for that defense.
Now, before we get into the win total thing, why the hell would Purdue vote yes on adding UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon. I don't understand really, you need majority vote. And I would assume that Rutgers, Maryland, Indiana, Purdue, that's 4, Illinois 5, Iowa 6, Minnesota 7, and then Wisconsin being 8 or Nebraska being 9. I think I'm still perplexed on how, like, I understand you want to add them to compete with the SEC, but I also think, what are you doing to your football program? If you're bringing in, like, they're gonna be one of the, like, from a talent perspective, they got to be like bottom 3 out of 18 now.
Yeah.
As opposed to before when it was 14, where it's like, okay, every couple of years we could come up and maybe, steal this thing in the Big Ten West. But no, now you have 18 teams. Why would you vote yes? Just for the check? Because I think long term it might be stupid.
You said it right there. I mean, it's follow the money. It's just all for it's this whole thing. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. It's just open hands. It's much money. They don't care what it does for the program, for the I'll go ahead and say it, for the kids. I mean, for anything. It's just as much money as they can. Just jam it in there while the windfall's happening. And it's also, like, as I said here, Purdue's a basketball school, and they do it. They have that with that in mind. Although football should be completely separate as far as all this with traveling. I mean,
yeah, but even with that in mind, like,
yeah,
I understand Purdue's up right now. They just played in the national championship, but, like, Zach Edey is gone. And now you have UCLA, who's only got like 1 trillion national championships coming in. You got, Oregon. Dana Altman keeps a good program, so it's like, I don't know what they're thinking, but we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out.
They want the money. Real quick before we get into this, the schedule, you forgot your favorite part. Your kicker. They got an Aussie punter. They got
to kick Dundee.
They got to kick Dundee. Came in from Mississippi State.
Woo!
From the Australia, Keelan Crimmings. I just want to give him a shout out. They got a kick Dundee down there at Purdue.
Love a kick Dundee on any team here.
And place kicking, they were the worst in the country, by the way, last year.
Well,
with field goals, they brought in a freshman. They said that might be able to fix it.
So you got to be better.
Better than what we were, but dead last in the country. So
when you lose 3 games by 1 score, that's
what I'm saying.
That could be a factor there.
All right, what do we got here?
The win total's sitting at 4.5 wins.
James Rufford should fucking shove all in on his 8-3 prediction. Then there's a lot of value on that over.
He said 8-3. He didn't even predict the 12th game, but
I love it.
The minus 150 to the under, plus 130 to the over. So Vegas is saying this team's going 4-8. It's 4-8 team.
Okay.
Well, the good news is
what they were last year.
The good news is there's good and bad news after week 1. The good news is you get the Indiana State Sycamores, who have been ass in the Missouri Valley lately. It is a rivalry game, though, so you never know. Folks in Terre Haute don't take kindly to those Boilermakers.
Tell you what, Boilermakers better win that game. It's going to be a long season if they don't get this one.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't understand why the fuck they have a bye week. So Indiana State's supposed to be your bye week. You have Indiana State followed by a bye week. Who the hell's doing your scheduling over there?
Start off with Indiana State, a game they usually never have those automatic wins. They start off with one. I mean, not as automatic, but it's pretty close to one. And then they go right to a bye, you're saying.
Very stupid. You should use your bye mid-season. Once again, I worry about whoever does the scheduling there. Also, I worry about the next 2 opponents because the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, historic rivalry. South Bend, Indiana against West Lafayette.
So it's Indiana State, bye, and then Notre Dame.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Oh, and I forgot to power rank these things again. I was in a rush. Or did I? No, I did power rank.
I see the power rank.
I just forgot Oregon State.
I they might be last year's power rankings, but
no, these are correctly power ranked.
Okay, Oregon's 5th. All right.
Well, it's at home on a Friday night, fresh off of Oregon, Ohio State.
I don't give a fuck what it is. It's the Oregon Ducks.
Well, they got Ohio State. Look at the other
40.
ones. The other ones are Ohio State, Penn State, and Notre Dame.
Mean, I'll say right now, Oregon's a tougher game than at Wisconsin. I don't care what it is. What I don't care if it's at midnight and inside Gene Katie's goddamn fucking dungeon.
At Ross-Ade, though, if it was in Autzen, you get these little ducks coming out to the Big Ten country. All right. Yeah, well, it's up for debate. But so you got them beating Notre Dame?
I do not have them beating Notre Dame. It's at home. That helps, I guess, but that place will be half packed with Notre Dame, and they'll drive right there from South Bend, Indiana games. It'll be a rivalry. Yeah, no, that's Notre Dame's Wednesday. Even off the bye, even off the thing. It'll be nice. I mean, they're going to give them all they got there, but Notre Dame's too good this year.
And then they head to Corvallis, where Oregon State is replacing their entire staff and really their entire roster.
Yeah.
But damn it, that's a hard place to win, man.
Yeah, that's not a win. That's a loss.
I got them losing that too. I think it would be a close one, but I think I favor Oregon State.
Right.
I got them 1-2. And then Matt Rule and the Nebraska Cornhuskers come into town. Now, Nebraska beat their ass last season 31-14. But that was in Lincoln. You got them pulling off a little upset here?
I'm kind of high on Nebraska this year, as far as the mid-range games. Not to beat any of the top ones, but I think Nebraska will take care of business here.
I think you're probably right, but I will say freshman quarterback on the road. This is probably his first road game, I think, if memory serves me correct. Maybe.
Good point. It's a coin toss. I mean, it's definitely a winnable. I'm not saying that by any means. It's a coin toss. It's a game they're going to need to win if they want to even think about a bowl game. But I like Nebraska here.
I think, let me say this. They got Nebraska at home, and then after that, they're at Wisconsin and at Illinois. They beat Illinois last year, and actually
they crushed Illinois last year.
Illinois had their issues with Purdue even before Walters.
I think they're going to get them again.
I was about to say they're going to get one win there between Nebraska, Wisconsin, and Illinois. I think they can get one.
Wisconsin's winnable, but they haven't beat them in 20 years at the same time. It's hard to Big Baller's right. And I mean, even though he's a Badger fan, I'd imagine the line will be in between 7 and 10 in there. So it is still winnable. I don't know what we're going to get with Wisconsin, but Wisconsin should win that game. But I like them. I think they're going to get one, like you said, one of them, possibly two of those three. I only see one win. I think they beat Illinois again.
You know what I see though that could be tricky? A Friday night nationally televised game. On a short week after Oregon upsets, or not upsets, after Oregon, Oregon's got Ohio State the week before.
Okay, well that's a good argument there. That's a big, huge letdown spot.
And they're going out to Ross-Ade Stadium. I'm still taking Oregon. But
are you saying you said this on a Friday night?
Friday night.
Okay.
Yeah, you ready? What you want to catch a little red eye out to West Lafayette? Have a few Boilermakers?
No, I'm just trying. I think I've had a few Boilermakers. I'm just trying to do the math on the dates up there on the schedule. 10-5 to 10-12. It seems like they're all 7 days. Would be Saturday. Maybe just wrote it down.
No. I think I did this. I think I made the schedule before the Big Ten announced.
That's fine. All right, Friday
games.
night. Friday night off a short week, off the big game. I don't care how many Boilermakers. I would have to have a lot of Boilermakers to predict that Purdue would beating Oregon. They have no chance of beating Oregon at home.
I think they got a little more of a chance than you. I think it's going to be a game. I'll say this: if Oregon loses to Ohio State in Eugene the week before, Oregon will win this game by 45 points.
That'll be a whooping.
If they beat Ohio State,
the last thing they want is Ohio State to beat Oregon.
If they beat Ohio State, they might be the number 1 team in the nation coming into West Lafayette. Oh boy, they got the biggest. You seen this? They got the biggest fucking drum in the world at West Lafayette. You know about that?
No, I do not know.
Yeah, they're big into drums in West Lafayette. So we got them at the bye week with 2 wins.
All right.
The win total is 4.5, and this is the second bye week because they have a stupid one on September 7th. They're home to Northwestern. This is winnable. This is very winnable.
Yeah, I like this game. Off the bye.
I'll take them too. I think they get Northwestern.
Yeah, like I said, they beat Northwestern.
1-score game a year ago. Revenge is on the mind, and then they head to Columbus, Ohio, to take on the Buckeyes. This will be an ass whooping, followed by a home game against Penn State. So it basically,
it's tough.
Well, it's tough in a 4-game stretch.
That's a C block, right? That's a C block right there.
In a 4-game stretch, they're getting Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State. That's 3 top 15 teams.
Jesus, Purdue.
They're not winning any of those.
That that's brutal.
And then they get Michigan State in East Lansing. But I kind of think by the time November gets around, Smith's going to have that program kind of where he trending in the right direction. I got Sparty winning this thing. You?
Yeah. That's a tough, and they'll be licking their wounds there too in Michigan State. That's a tough game on the road towards the season end. I like Sparty here too.
And then you got the season finale, Purdue heading to Bloomington. This is one where I'm trying to quickly pull up the series. I know it's the Battle of the Old Oaken Bucket, but the all-time series. First, they've been playing this fucking thing since 1891.
All these goddamn Midwest Big Ten rivalry games. They play for some bronze piece of agricultural equipment.
The all-time series. Purdue has a large lead, a 35-game lead on
Indiana.
On those Hoosiers. Kurt Signetti coming in, talking shit right away. But
I like Signetti. I like those.
I'm going to take Indiana though, but I think this is a 3-win team this year. And I'll be honest, 4.5. I almost feel like this is one that I feel pretty damn good about this one. I think there's a chance they only win. Like it's not that far off from them winning 1 or 2 games.
I can see them being a 2-win team for sure. I can see them beating Indiana too, just to save their season, their rally at the end, rivalry game. I don't think it'll matter. What do I have? I'm beating Indiana, Northwestern, Illinois, and then that's it. Indiana State. And Indiana State, that's my ceiling for them almost, and that's at 4 wins. Although you can slip Nebraska in there.
Let's build them to make a bowl to get to 6. They'd have to beat Indiana State.
Okay. Beat Nebraska.
Nebraska 2. Illinois 3.
Northwestern 4.
Indiana 5, and then one huge upset.
Then they'd have to sweep Michigan State and Indiana, basically.
Maybe they get Oregon State with the new coach.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. I don't see it. I like this under a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I think you're going to hear this on the Locks episode in August.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you something here. Any chance at anything else? No. Big Ten championship, they're plus 30,000. Natty plus 80,000. No, it's just
nope.
But the under is the under's actually what? Minus 150. So it's not the greatest bets, but I wonder if they got anything on the exact win market. Give me a second here.
I'd feel pretty good under 4.5. Minus 150 juice. Parlay that with one of our other plays, maybe. If not, I don't mind that. I mean, for them to win 5 games will take a lot, and you take some good upsets. Yeah, they're only going to be favored in that Indiana State game. I don't think they're a favorite in any other single game.
Maybe Northwestern by the time it gets there.
Yeah, all right, I'll give them that. They'll be favored in that one. But other than that, I mean, those short dogs against some of those coin flip games, but they will be underdogs, I believe, in 8 of those 8. Fucking 10 of those games.
Yeah. Once again, the scheduling. If I were them, I would not have a bye week.
Look at this. Dog. Northwestern, you're right. They'll be favored in that game. Other than that, there are underdogs in every single one of these games.
Well, and that's what's stupid too about having a bye week 2.
Right.
If you space these things out, it gives you a little more of a breather. You're going through like a gauntlet in a way. And to me, if I were them, I would have done, okay, you want to do Notre Dame. I get it. That's a rivalry game. Fans get excited. Then don't play at Oregon State. You put like Ball State on the schedule, or you put,
I would, or take that bye right after Oregon State.
Yeah.
Give yourself the comeback time, prepare for Nebraska at home, a winnable game, and Wisconsin, knowing that we get to the heart of the Big Ten.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. I think you will hear it on the Locks episode, folks. That's our show here. Ryan
right.
Walters, you think he's on the hot seat next year? You think he's
I tell you what, a 2-win season will do it. That'll put anybody on a hot seat.
2-win season might get him fired.
That might get him fired.
Yeah.
Another 4-8 team, like we're predicting. I would personally give him another year because, like I said, I think it's still a rebuilding process. He did recruit well, and he wants to make this a defense. They have to get an identity. He wants the identity to be defense, and that's going to take some time for it to be installed.
Yeah. Yeah. Folks, he is the bet detective, aka Scumbagger Vance. Check out the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, CJ Sullivan. The road to what was it? The road to 10 million?
That's right. Golden M Dare Hills, road to 10 million, sweat to sweat.
Get on over there. Check that out. Bottom Line Bombs podcast. You can give him a follow on Twitter at CJ Sullivan _. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Make sure also youtube.com/the college experience. All 134 teams right there. FCS College Football Experience. Get on over there, subscribe, learn about Indiana State. Also check out the Stadium Heads podcast. Myself and Michael Barker talking the history of college football stadiums. I think you'll like what we say about Ross-Ade Stadium there as we go through all the Big Ten stadiums on one episode there on the Stadium Heads podcast. Check out that. Also check out the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Check out the College Basketball Experience. Hello, Purdue. Matt Painter's just doing an unbelievable job. He went from people I was in Vegas when they got upset by is it St. Peter's? St. Peter's, I think.
Yeah.
2 years ago, people were saying that they got to fire him. Next year he goes to the national championship. All right. Check out the College Basketball Experience when we go live. We're live. First off, we're doing off-season coaching interviews, nonstop episodes, talking Big Ten, talking all the conference races, but also when the season starts, every single night of the season, we go live, reacting, talking about all the games, handicapping every single game. Get on over there. Check out the College Basketball Experience. Also check out the College Baseball Experience as well. Folks, until next time, this is the College Football Experience, Boilermaker style. We're both heavy on the unders. We're hoping for you though, Ryan Walters. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the cameras. Run and shoot.